So Bob, where did the idea for prepper parties come from?
Yeah, so originally we started getting requests from churches and other civic organizations, community organizations that asked us to come out and share our message and our information with the general public. And so we thought it would be a good idea then to, if there's that kind of interest at the local level, to bring that into the home and apply that in the home setting.
Perfect, perfect. So how do we actually deliver that? I mean, I know we're going national with it.
Right.
So how do we deliver that to homes all across America?
Well, we have local consultants, what we call master preppers, who work with families and individuals who are interested in hosting these in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like any home party, there's an opportunity for those hosts to invite their friends and family into the home, and we'll have one of our consultants show up, and they'll walk them through the process, help them understand the needs, answer their questions, walk them through what our plan and what our process is all about, and even introduce them to some of the specific products and resources that we supply in order to help them better prepare.
Okay. So we've done these prepper parties. So what's the feedback that we've gotten from people that have attended?
Well, actually, the feedback so far has been amazing. The people, it's amazing how people don't realize how interested they are until they start talking about it and really getting involved in it. And so it's been exciting to see that not only the interest within each party, but there are people from those parties who want to do them on their own and get more involved and get their friends and family. So it's really kind of taking off quite quickly. Yeah.
Thanks. Another question that I have is, seems like we've talked about this many times, but it's always interesting when you're talking to somebody about prepping. They always have their story.
Right.
What are some of the more interesting ones you've heard?
Well, one in particular, a gentleman, a good friend of mine, all the way from college, said that he was out of town on a business trip one time, and his wife called and said that they had a water main break. And just coincidentally, he had started months before, and she didn't even know it, filling their milk jugs with water and putting them down in the basement for an emergency. And he didn't know what for, but he had a number of milk jugs cleaned out, of course, and filled with water. And he suggested to her that she go down and use the water because all of the local grocery stores had been cleaned out of bottled water. So without any water sources in the home or in the local grocery stores, they were fortunate to have these milk jugs filled with water downstairs. So
sure.
That's one example that I thought was kind of funny.
And I think after you told me that story originally, you also made it a point to mention that you shouldn't store water in
That's correct, yes.
in something that has had food in it already.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's bacteria and other things that can grow in that environment, but I thought it was interesting that he had started prepping and not even realized what he was doing.
Didn't even realize he was doing it.
Yes.
So I had one a couple of days ago where I was talking to a lady that just kind of called me up out of the blue off of an invite to another prepper party that somebody's having, and she called and she's a real estate agent, and she mentioned storing when it was Y2K.
Right,
Back
of
in
course.
Y2K.
Right.
And she mentioned the fact that they had bought a bunch of the 5-gallon water drums and put those down in the basement, and that she had just recently dumped them out. And so that was a while ago.
Right.
And I said that's probably a good idea to dump those out. And then I mentioned the water bob to her.
Great.
So we had a good conversation, and she wants to start doing parties as well. So
yeah, it's amazing if you can get people to open up about it, how interested they are in this topic.
right. Why do you think it appeals so much to mainstream America as far as what we're trying to
Well,
accomplish?
I'll be honest with you, and even from my own personal experience, it's all about, to me, uncertainty. You never know what's going to happen. There's so many things, as we've done our research, and we've uncovered 40 to 50 or more different potential emergencies and disasters that could take place. You've got natural disasters, you've got weather-made, you've got man-made. So it could be floods, hurricanes, earthquakes, snowstorms, blackouts, terrorism, financial collapse. There's just so many different things that could go wrong, and so much uncertainty in the world right now. And it seems to be getting worse and worse. And maybe it's just going through cycles or phases. But I think that's really getting people more interested and on alert that, well, maybe I should be prepared at least in a foundational way.
Sure. And that really brings me to the point where we stick to is that we're not necessarily doomsday preppers.
Right.
We're everyday family emergency preppers.
That's
And
exactly right.
That's really what our goal is to help families take responsibility for their own protection and safety and having the supplies and things that they would need during any type of emergency.
That's right. And I think the key to it, from our standpoint, is everything that we're trying to achieve is to make our services simple, make it accessible, and make it affordable to everyday citizens just like us.
Just like us.
Yeah.
Very good.